Hello guys, welcome back to yet another episode, and in today's video we are on lesson number 7 and we are going to look into trend lines and support zones. So that's what I'll be introducing you into. So we'll be looking into trend lines. So I'll be showing you different types of trend lines that we have. Hello guys, welcome back to yet another lesson. We are on lesson number 7. So if you haven't watched the other lessons, it's important we get to look into as you get to come to lesson number 7. So in this episode we are going to look into something new. It's a new concept. We are talking of trend lines, and I'll be showing you different kind of trend lines that we have and how you can get to use them into the market to notice where the market is going, and of course how you can take advantage of that so that you start taking money from the market. But before you get into that, if you're new to the channel, I'll just request you to just go ahead and make sure you hit the subscribe button so that I don't miss these kind of lessons each and every single time I get to drop a new lesson. You always be the first one to be notified. So right away, let's just go ahead. We just get into the concept itself. So with the trend lines, we have the number one. We have different types of trend lines. Let's start by the first type of trend line. The types of trend lines. We have an uptrend trend line, an uptrend trend line. We also have the downtrend. We have the downtrend trend lines. So and also we have the sideways. And number 3, we have the sideways trend lines. So the question is, what's the difference between each trend lines? So with the first trend line, these are trend lines which are drawn to show that the market is going on the upward direction. Upward direction. As the word suggests, these they get to show that the market is about to go on the upward direction. For the downtrend, these are trend lines that they get to show the market is going downwards. While we have the sideways, this is what we call the ranging. So I'll be showing you a couple of examples for every one of them, so that you get to see and of course to understand how you can get to draw them, and of course get to take advantage of what they get to show you in the market for you to know where the market is about to go. So let me just clear this one. We start with the uptrend. We start with let's just clear. Let me just. So we are talking about trend lines. So number 1, we have the uptrend trend lines. We have the uptrend trend lines. So with this, we have as I said earlier, there are trend lines which gets to show you that the market is heading in the upward direction. And if you remember, there's a lesson we talked about the uptrends, whereby the market has to make new high highs. For instance, if the market is coming from the downside, we expect the market to be making new high highs. These they are called we are talking of the higher highs, and these are new lower lows, new lower highs, meaning the market keeps creating new high highs and new lower highs, new higher highs and new lower lows. So you can see the market is moving in an upward direction since it's making new higher highs. So how do you get to draw these trend lines for the case of the uptrend? So there are factors that come in place, and one of which those factors is that for every trend line to be valid, it has to be valid. It has to touch at least 2 points. It has to touch at least 2 points for the market to be at least be valid in that direction. For this, what I mean is that the trend line has to touch at least 1 point, or even 2 points. So for instance, if you get to join this one, sorry, I'm not that accurate, but hopefully you're getting the concept. So if for the trend line to be valid, it has to touch at least 2 points. So for this case, you can see we have this point 1. We have point 1. and you also have 0.2. So you can see if you get join your trend line from this point to till to this point, that's a valid trend line. And as you can see, it's heading on the upper direction, meaning that's an up one trend line, meaning it's showing that the market is heading in that direction. So if you can get to come and draw, of course, the next lower low, the next lower high, you expect the market to touch this point and keep going up. So hopefully that's something that you're getting this concept. So that's how you get to realize how these trend lines, they get to help you to know where the market is going and where you can get to focus. So for this case, if you want to get to this point, you want an entry position to this point, that's where we get to bring on board the candlesticks patterns. The candlesticks patterns for you to know whether to execute the trend on an uptrend or whether to wait for the market to break this trend line and it gets to unfold downwards. So that's why it's important also to get with the video about candlesticks patterns, so that you get also to understand how you get to incorporate the candlestick pattern right here, and I'll be showing you on the live market so that you get also to understand that. So that's for the case of the uptrend trend lines. So let's proceed. We get to look into the downtrend trend line. So it's basically, technically, it's just the opposite of the uptrend. So downtrend trend lines, it's just the opposite of the uptrend trend line. So for this case, you can see the market, to expect the market is unfolding downwards like that, lower highs, and we have new lower lows. We also have new lower lows, meaning the market is breaking these and it's heading downwards. So that's how we get to know whether the market is heading downwards. So for this case, you can see, as I said, you need to make sure that the trend line is touching 2 points. So for this case, since the market is unfolding downwards, we can get, for instance, to make sure that the market gets to touch right there for the case of the trend line, and then we get to draw a line like that. Make sure it gets to touch at least 2 points. So for this case, we're expecting this one, after it gets to break these, we're expecting the market to come here and then to keep going down. So that's how it's important for you to know where the points are, which are the main points that you get to respect on the trend line, and how the market is unfolding downwards. So technically, for the trend line, as I said earlier, make sure it touches 2 points. Make sure it touches 2 points, and of course, for the trend line to be valid. For the trend line to be valid, make sure at least it touches 2 points. For this case, our first point was here. This was our first point. This was our second point. This was our second point. So for the third time, we're expecting that the market, after breaking this neckline right here, we're expecting it comes to this spot and it keeps unfolding downwards. So another secret I want to show you, you need to know, NB, whenever the market gets to touch 1 point, it gets to touch the market 3 times. In most cases, the 4th time the market gets to break. So it's important for you to note this. Whenever the market gets to touch a trend line 3 times, the 4th time, this is the 4th time, we expect the market to break, and of course it keeps escalating on or unfolding in the opposite direction. So it's important for you to make sure you get to understand this, and of course you get to develop an eye of seeing these opportunities in the market. Those are things that are once we get to the charts, I'll be showing you, and hopefully you'll be remembering this concept. So let's look into the last one, which is the ranging or the sideways trend lines. So for the case of the sideways, it's called sideways or ranging market. So for this case, one thing you need to know is that it's a market which is not giving any clear direction on where it's heading. So for this case, you just need to choose 2 points, as I told you. For this case, we can get to draw just like that, and then on this other downside, we can also get to draw another trend line. So we have trend line 1, and we also have trend line 2. So this is trend line 2. So with this, the market hasn't shown any clear direction. So what's left for you for this case, you just need to wait for the market either to break on this side, break and retest, and then it gets to unfold on that side, or you just wait for the market to break on the upper side and retest, and then it gets to unfold. And of course, another concept that you need to understand is that whenever the market gets to break, you just need to measure this distance here. Get to measure this will be this distance on this other side. So this distance, you get to measure that distance on the other side. So your take profit, that is your TP, will be somewhere here after you get to enter the market here. So for this case, in order for entry reasons, you need to look at the candlesticks patterns. These are concepts that we tackled at lesson number 6. So make sure you check out our previous video to understand candlesticks patterns. So that's for the case of the trend lines. Hope you have found some value in this one. In case you have any questions, talk to me in the comment section, and I'll be happy to take you through the entire lesson so that you also have a good understanding on how you get to approach Forex and how you can get to make some money from the market. So that's it for today. And of course, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and also you can get to join our WhatsApp group. The link is just in the description section, so that we get to grow as a team, we get to help each other, and that this is a skill that you can really benefit from it. That's it for today, and of course, have a good time, but make sure you watch out also my other lessons.